Hey guys, this is Chris from Empire Bricks and welcome to another LEGO Star Wars set review. Today we're going to look at set 75205, the Mos Eisley Cantina. It was released in 2018. It has 378 pieces. It comes with 4 minifigures and it retails for $39.99 in dollars and $49.99 in euros. Let's start with that. The price, there's a pretty big difference between the price in Europe and the United States. And with only 378 pieces, $49.99 is a very steep price. On the other hand, this is a cantina and there is a lot of pretty cool stuff in this actually pretty small set. So let's start having a look at the set and start with the minifigures as we always do. First up is, of course, the most important character from this set, and that is Han Solo. Nothing too much new about him. The print is something that we have seen before, at least in different varieties, but it is his well-known shirt. He has this really cool hairpiece that is also on the Han Solo in the UCS Millennium Falcon, and he comes with a small regular blaster. Next up is Greedo, one of our favorite scoundrels, except Han Solo, of course. He has some really nice detailing. The coloring on this guy is really amazing, but nothing too special. Also, this guy really looks a lot like the previous versions of him, although I do have to say that the detail on his head and eyes is absolutely amazing, and I really love this figure. The mold is very accurate, and just like Han Solo, he comes with a small regular blaster. The third minifigure is the most elaborate of the set, and that is a Sand Trooper. And I am really amazed by what they have done. LEGO has come a long way with the Stormtroopers. And this is basically the print from a regular Stormtrooper, so the lines and stuff are the same, but all the smudges are specific for the Sand Trooper, and this ammo pouch on his chest. Also, he comes with a lot of gear on his back. That is attached to this bracket that is on his neck. He comes with a pauldron on his shoulder as well, which looks really cool, which is still the older stiff fabric, not the newer soft fabric. And he comes with a medium-sized regular blaster. Underneath the helmet is, of course, an angry clone face, as we are used to with all the other Stormtroopers. And last, but definitely not least, is the Mos Eisley Cantina barman called Wooher, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And even though he is kind of plain, he has some very small details, nothing too special. He does have two faces, a more shouting face on the backside. This is actually the first time that we get the Mos Eisley Cantina barman. And that's pretty cool. It's always nice to see new figures in a new Star Wars set. So really cool to have him added to the LEGO Star Wars Galaxy. I'm going to put these on the side for a second here and have a look at the actual set. So the actual set consists of two pieces, or two builds, I guess. The cantina itself and one side build. And I'm going to start with that one because it's relatively the smallest one. And this is actually a transport vehicle. It's a vehicle. It's called the Ubrikian 9000, and if you do not know what this actually is on screen for a few seconds in A New Hope, and this hasn't been released in LEGO form ever before, so that is a very cool thing for this LEGO set. I always love it when we get new stuff, and this one is definitely new. So this is a kind of alien round transport that is used by, I guess, humans, because it fits one minifigure, so that's the standard size for this thing. There is some sticker detailing on the side, which is basically the same sticker repeated on all four sides. If we have a look inside, you can see that there's actually a seat and a printed console piece as a kind of steering mechanism. If you close it up, there is a stud shooter on the top that you can aim a little bit, but you cannot aim it sideways. And it stands on basically these four legs, but it has a plate for balance, or else these would break off too easily. But it's a sturdy build. It looks pretty neat, and it's new. It's something that we haven't seen before. So that's two new things already for this set. And then we have to move on to the biggest build, moving the figures on the side here. And that is the cantina itself. And I think that this is the part where stuff starts to go downhill, because the figures are pretty awesome. This side build is, I don't know, you don't have to love it, but it's new. It's something that we haven't seen before. But this cantina is, of course, something that we have seen before. This is, I think, the fourth Mos Eisley Cantina that has been made into Lego. And by many standards, this is not the best. So as you can see, it consists of three kind of modular pieces that make up the whole cantina. And they can be a little bit adjusted by these clips on the side. But the way that works is kind of strange. So as you can see, there's only so much room, and kind of the positions of these modules are very unnatural. This makes for a very strange look. You cannot actually, I have to take this off. I'll just give an example here. But you have to take these clips off to actually, put them together in a better way like this, so to make the walls line up. And if you have them on the clips, that is not a possibility. So that is definitely something that I don't like about this cantina. So which three modules do we get? Well, we get the entrance. I'll just detach them for a second, just for the purpose of showing you guys. So here's the entrance. If we have a look at the front, you can see that there is a door. There is some detailing, a small printed console piece, and a sticker above the entrance that seems to read Cantina in our badge. So that's pretty cool. And there is this piece sticking out here from the wall. If you pull that, the door opens and you can actually close it again. So that's pretty neat. I think the mechanism has been worked into this build pretty well. It's very hard to see. And there's only this small piece sticking out. So this is a good thing. There's an antenna piece, there's a grill piece, so there's some nice detailing. I like how they kind of randomly built the walls with different bricks and colors, so that's good. And inside there is another console piece. However, this one is a sticker and this one is as well. I'm not sure what kind of computer this should be, but I think it's some door control or maybe some identification mechanism for people entering the cantina. So this is, I think the one with the most functionality with the door. It has some stickers. So this is, it's a nice piece to have, although it is pretty small, but it can hold some figures inside. It makes for good play. So moving on to the other piece. This is kind of a booth where Han and Greedo can sit. So just for the purpose of demonstrating, I'll just take off their blasters for a second and put them in here in this booth. Because this is, of course, the scene where Han shoots Greedo or Greedo shoots Han. We'll never know who shot first, I guess. So first thing is, it's not that easy, not that convenient to put them in there. But basically they are, I guess, discussing. And there's these cogwheels on the side. And if you turn those, then you can make the figures, I guess, flip, make them avoid a shot from the other. But as you can see, that doesn't work too well. They end up in pretty awkward positions. So just taking them out, it's a nice functionality, although I have to say that even if you don't use that functionality, the inside of the booth still looks pretty cool. There is some nice detailing. Again, the wall is kind of randomly built out of different kinds of bricks, making the whole thing look a little bit rugged. But there's some nice details on the inside here. But the most special thing about this is actually not the mechanism, in my opinion, but it is this piece. So this is supposed to be, I guess, a drink of some sorts from the cantina. And these parts, and it's very... I tried before to show this on camera, but I can't. The lighting will just not allow me to. But this is a glow-in-the-dark piece. So this is kind of the drink of either Han or Greedo, and it glows in the dark, which is something that at least I haven't seen before in Lego, especially not in Lego Star Wars. I'm not sure why they chose to make it glow in the dark. It definitely doesn't justify the price, but it's a very cool piece. And I don't know, it makes the whole thing feel a little bit special. So I think that's a very nice addition. But in general, I think this booth is very good looking, functionality not that great, but you know, the whole thing, it does what it has to do. Yes. So moving on to the third piece or module of the cantina, and that is of course the bar. Now this is a very simple piece, but I have to say that the general look of this is something that I really enjoy. You know, as you can see from several angles, this actually looks like a bar, and we now have a barman for behind the bar. So there's some glasses and you know these colored drinks here. There is some tubing that could you know give you more drinks, and there is a small clip for a blaster for a wooer, the barman, to defend themselves from I guess angry people in the cantina, and another printed console piece. Now normally I don't pay any attention in my reviews to some to the extra pieces in a set, but there is 2 extra glow in the dark pieces. I just put them here for now, so that's cool. You get some extra glow in the dark pieces with this set. So this looks good, but again, this is nothing that we haven't seen before in other cantina sets. I'm gonna put them together for now. So what do I think of the set as a whole? Well, it's very hard because the figures are absolutely great. The Sand Trooper looks amazing. There is a new Han Solo. At least this combination of hair and torso and head is relatively exclusive. We get a relatively new Greedo. We get a figure that we haven't seen before, Wooer. We get a vehicle that we haven't seen in Lego form before, the Ubrikian 9000. So thus far everything is good, but the cantina itself it cannot even stand in the shadow of the previous cantina from 2014, I believe, which really has it all. It just looks better, and this one is too small. The attachments are kind of weird, so this is not a great build. So I think my general conclusion for this set is that I would recommend it. It's worth buying, but not at the European price at least. And I would definitely buy it if you have the older cantina, because I think you could definitely join these things together with the older cantina and make one big cantina. And also, if you don't have a Mos Eisley Cantina, this is a pretty decent set to start with, I guess, and then you could save up for the older version later on. The biggest pro for this set is, of course, the figures and the Ubrikian speeder. I think the biggest con is the fact that these modules, they're fine, they're okay. I would have loved one more, but they just do not look good together. Because of the hinge system, they look kind of weird. I'd rather have them either use a different system, or Lego should have left out this piece so you could actually join them together, which is impossible now, and make one row of booths and stuff. Some people might buy 2 to build a bigger cantina. That's something you could do. But overall, I think this is an okay set. There's some very big pros, some very big cons. In general, I think this is just a set that you need to have as a collector if you don't have a Mos Eisley Cantina yet. So that's it for my thoughts on this set. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.